What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and today we're talking about my experience with the M2 Pro Mac Mini after the hype, after everything has died down, and I've been using this for a while. Got it set up back here with the studio display, and well, I'm gonna tell you my experience with this thing because there's a lot to say. You see, ever since Apple came out with their own chip design and we got away from using Intel chips, it's been a very, very different experience on a Mac, and it's been a wonderful one actually. Everything that I've done up until getting the Mac Mini back here, I was editing on my M1 MacBook Pro, my 13-inch, and you know how long it's been a dream of mine to be able to edit on a 13-inch MacBook Pro on the go and not have to worry about anything. I've been waiting for this for so long, but now that we have even bigger and better things, like we have the Mac Mini back here with the M2 Pro inside of it, life is on a whole different level now. So even though I'm using the M2 Pro Mac Mini, I do want to touch on the M2 Mac Mini as well, the baseline Mac Mini, because I believe that for most people out there, that computer will get things done. Like I said, I've been using a 13-inch MacBook Pro with an M1 chip inside of it since that came out, and let me tell you, it's just been a breeze on it. But everything on the M2 Pro Mac Mini has been just a notch above what I expected it to be, because it's just unbelievable how quick and fast these computers are now. Everything from working in Final Cut Pro to Photoshop to Illustrator, anything in between that has been an absolute joy to use. I haven't noticed any hiccups or any bugs or anything like that. It's just been an absolute breeze in my opinion. Now with the M2 Pro Mac Mini, you do get 4 Thunderbolt ports. That's an additional 2 over the regular M2 Mac Mini, which might make a difference to you. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If you're using it with something like the Studio display, you automatically get extra ports on the back of that thing, so that might make up for it. But I mean, I do wish that we had ports on the front, though that's not on the Mac Mini in this case anyway. Maybe we'll get someday, but I don't think that Apple is going to cannibalize their Mac Studio computer, because that does have some inputs on the front as well as an SD card slot, I believe. And for me, having the Mac Mini here, it does kind of mean that I have to reach around and fumble with cables and stuff every now and then. Not that big of a deal, because I do have a little hub that sits up front on my desk here that I'm able to easily plug things into, and I have it hooked up to the Studio display, which makes it a lot easier. I really don't have anything negative to say about the M2 Pro Mac Mini, except for maybe the price. This is a $2,000 computer. That's just the Mac Mini there, because I do have the upgraded CPU and GPU and 32 gigabytes of RAM inside of there, which brings the price up to about $2,000, I believe. So like I said, it's not a cheap computer, but it will get done a lot of the stuff that you need to get done on it with ease, without any hassle whatsoever. But like I said, you don't necessarily need the M2 Pro, not everybody anyways. I think that you'd be just fine with the base model Mac Mini with the M2 chip inside. I mean, that thing is just speedier than my M1 MacBook Pro, and like I said, I've been doing all of my channel's editing on that M1 MacBook Pro since the thing came out, and it's been just fine for me. But if you need the extra headroom, or you want to get something that's definitely future-proof as far as upgrades go, you might want to splurge a little bit in the department of getting the upgraded CPU and GPU, or some additional RAM inside of there, stuff like that. Now, this isn't going to be one of those videos where I just talk about specs and benchmarks and things like that, because honestly, it's kind of boring, and it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is if the computer that you have is going to perform and do what you need it to do. And I think for a lot of people out there, if you're even springing for the M2 Pro Mac Mini, you're gonna have more than enough headroom there. And like I said, most people could probably get away with just the regular base model M2 Mac Mini. As long as you don't need the upgraded CPU, GPU, or RAM inside of there, you can definitely get away with something a little bit cheaper. It's pretty amazing that we have a $600 M2 Mac Mini that can pretty much handle anything that I personally would throw at it. In my use, over any amount of time, whatever I would throw at an M2 Mac Mini, it would handle just fine, because like I said, I've been using that M1 chip for the last couple of years now, and it's been perfectly fine in my use. So having something like the M2 Pro right here just basically leaves me with a bunch of headroom that I'm probably not even going to dip into, but for me, that's personally fine. I would rather have more compute power that I'm not using than having less compute power that I need actually to get things done. And I'm just in awe of how great Apple Silicon is and how much it's changed the game of computing. It's absolutely changed the game of Macs for the better. I mean, wow, this little Mac Mini, it's super powerful. On top of that, having it connected to the Studio display here with the anti-glare etching on it is super convenient. This thing blocks out glare like nobody's business. And if you want to see a full video on the studio display, definitely leave this video a thumbs up or drop a comment down below. Now, if you're someone that wants to completely max out a Mac Mini, that's gonna cost you about $4,500. And I personally think that you could choose from better computers in Apple's lineup than to max out a Mac Mini. I mean, look at the Mac Studio, for example. That's something that you might want to take a look at, or any of the MacBook Pros with a little bit of bumped up specifications in there. But I think if you're going to go the route of Mac Mini, your best bet is to just get the baseline or just get the top model M2 Pro Mac Mini, because either of those are going to suffice for what you needed to do. And like I said, for a lot of people out there, the baseline M2 Mac Mini is going to be where it's at, because these things just absolutely fly. Real quick though, before we continue talking about the Mac Mini, I want to tell you about this video's sponsor, Casekoo, with their Magic Stand case. This thing is absolutely awesome. It's a case that has a magnetic ring on the back side of it, but you can actually pull it out to use it as a stand, so you can stand it on a table. You can use it to stand it portrait or landscape mode, which is pretty awesome. And then you can still use it for all your MagSafe stuff on the back too. This little ring right here is so handy. You can even pull it out and put your finger in to give you a better grip on your phone, which I found to be super helpful as well. I just absolutely love Casekoo and what they've done with this Magic Stand case. It's just amazing. It comes in a variety of colors. You can use Klarna on their website to pay for your order, so you can pay for it over 4 different payments, which is pretty cool as well. And I have a special link in the description below for you if you want to get your hands on one of these Casekoo Magic Stand cases, because honestly, they are pretty awesome, and I've been loving my time with all of the Magic Stand cases that they've sent out to me. So I definitely want to give you a shot to check it out for yourself. If you want to try it out, like I said, they do accept Klarna, which will split it up into 4 payments for you. Link is down below in the description. Go ahead, click that, check out the Magic Stand case from Casekoo, and a big shout out to Casekoo for sponsoring this video. Now, one thing that I haven't really done on this M2 Pro Mac Mini is gaming. I'm not a big gamer as it is, and I'm definitely not a big Mac gamer. I use a gaming PC on the regular, so that's something that I wouldn't be doing on this Mac Mini. But I've been using this for all of my editing work, basically from A to Z, start to finish. Everything that I've been doing on this channel since I got this desk set up, since I got the M2 Pro Mac Mini over there, I have been using that 100% of the time to edit everything on this channel, and it has been nothing but a joy to do. I've just been so impressed with how Apple is completely stepping up the computer game with their own silicon chips, and it's been an absolute joy. I really can't say anything bad about the experience, because honestly, I haven't had a single hiccup with this M2 Pro Mac Mini. But I think definitely out of Apple's lineup of computers, the $600 Mac Mini is something to look at, especially if you're using like an educational discount. I believe you get $50 to $100 off that price as well, which makes it even more to drool over, because I gotta say, the M2 chips are where it's at. I know Apple has announced that they've upgraded the Mac Studio with an M2 chip. We now have Mac Pro with the M2 Ultra, I believe, inside of it. It's just, there's a lot happening in this space right now, a lot to be excited about with computing, because even though we're not using Intel chips anymore, Apple raising the bar on their computing power makes everybody raise the bar. So we all kind of win. Even if you're a PC person, we all kind of win when Apple makes things better, and I think they've done a stand-up job with this M2 Pro Mac Mini. I'm super excited about it, super happy about using it. It's been awesome all around. But I would love to know what you think about the M2 Pro Mac Mini down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you're new around here to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos like this drop in the near future. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Once again, this is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.